Fuck that, son. You don't understand this shit, nigga. First of all, nigga, come on, man. Nah, man, ain't like that, man. With that shit, kid. Fuck that. Nah, let him in. Yeah.
All right, man. All right, first off, just state your name, the film, and the release date.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's the RZA right here. On November 2nd, I want y'all to go to the movie theaters and watch my new film, The Man with the Iron Fist, starring Russel Crowe, Lucy Liu, Pam Grier, Jamie Chung, Rick Yune, Dave Baustista, Kung Lee. Also, an appearance by me, myself, the RZA. Bong bong.
And this film, your directing debut, seems like it's been a long time in the coming.
Yeah.
Any other films or concepts that you had that never materialized first, or is this like been in your head first?
Oh no, this ain't the first film in my head. This is the first film that's done with a major studio and brought out to the world properly as a proper director. But throughout my years, I had a lot of different ideas, you know, Bobby Digital, Wu-Tang vs. Golden Phoenix. And we got those on the ice box, you know what I mean? That's when I was kind of more amateur style. But now, I got it, kid. I got the beat and the rhymes now, kid. I could do it.
And then, while making this film, was there any specific outlets, music, film, book that really influenced you or you referenced to while making the film?
While making the film, the only book I would read was the book on genetics. So in the daytime, I was a film director. At nighttime, I was studying to be a geneticist. So that did inspire one character named Poison Dagger.
Who plays that?
He's played by Daniel Wu. And he has a weapon that when it hits the blood, it causes total damage.
And then can you detail us about your character?
The character I play is called the Blacksmith. Man, this guy is a very quiet soul. He's I think to put him in one sentence, he's a man who's looking for freedom.
And are there any similarities between you and him?
I think the only similarity between me and him is because I feel like I found freedom, but I know how it is to be on that path. Yeah, he's something that I'm actually not, something that I've grown past. But it's a character that I think many of us and people and fans are still going through. So I think through him we could watch what happens when you take certain paths in life, or when you're on a path in life and you get off that path. Cause I could say that's his in the movie. I think that character is more like he was on a proper path and he got off the path and look what happens, kid. You know what I mean?
And then can you just quickly detail like about the plot and like what, just a quick detail of it?
When this plot is multi-layered, you know what I mean? So each character has their own goal, their own endeavor. So I mean, in the gist, you know, we'll say you have 7 different clans or 7 different clans coming to meet at one location to hijack a shipment of gold. To the gist of the, you know, the one-liner, yeah, it's about money and what money make people do. But on a broader scale, each character has a meaning, has a reason of what they must go through. So our character played by Rick Yune, name is Zin Yi. He's out for revenge. You know what I mean? You have a character called Madame Blossom, played by Lucy Liu. And she's basically there to protect herself and her women. So everybody has a reason for being. You know what I mean? And we got a character called Silver Lion, played by Byron Mann, who plays this role really, really great. He actually steals a lot of, you know, he steals a lot of scenes in this movie. But his character is like the bastard son. Imagine somebody, you know, if you think of the Godfather, you know, he's like, I won't say Fredo. You could say Fredo, but I was gonna give you one of the mafia dudes. What's the dude that turned on the Godfather? That got the Godfather shot. He's played by Fish. It's called Mr. Nigga name. The top guy. No. Remember, he said, the Godfather said, whoever set the meeting up, that's the nigga who betrayed us.
Oh, yeah, the old guy.
Yeah, the old guy.
Bald guy.
Yeah. But that's a man that grew up in the family for a long time and deserves to be a godfather, but it goes to the son, kid. It don't go to the man that's adopted like that. And but at the same time, you know, because of his, you know, feelings and his turmoil, he gets greedy. You know what I mean? And he wants to take over the throne.
Is there any other specific films like Godfather that you study to help you direct?
Man, I studied so many different films over the years. Another thing you'll notice in our film, and it's not because I was thinking about it when I did it, but when I look back at my film, I think of Star Wars in the sense of Star Wars was a movie that talked about the Force. And as a kid, I believed in the Force. My movie talks about something called chi energy. And as a man, I know that chi exists, but we took the chi to a mythical level. You know what I mean? My Sifu will always say, more chi, train harder. And in martial arts, chi should be something that translates from your body to your weapon. You know what I mean? And of course, thinking in a comic book way, as I do sometimes, we took that idea even further. So you'll see a character like Dave Baustista who come out and he becomes a character named Brass Body. How does he do that? Because he mastered his chi so much that he could change the elements of his body to brass and deflect weapons. You'll notice that when you see the film, you'll notice that he has all these like, it ain't just brass. If you look at this poster, you see all these shapes on his body, all those things like that. Those are all the meridians that chi flow in your body. That's really from an acupuncture medical fact right there. If you go through the acupuncture, you'll see that chi flows through different vessels in your body. So I actually used the acupuncture doll with all the meridian points to help build this character's outer shell. You know what I mean? And you'll see in the movie why I did it when you'll see, you know, why I did it. But anyway, this is the way I'm thinking, you know what I mean? So from whether it's fantasies like Star Wars or movies that's based on a reality sense like The Godfather, or ancient kung fu movies like Five Deadly Venoms, which is an influence of this movie, or if you look at Lucy Liu character and she's doing more of an operatic Crouching Tiger type of styles, you know what I mean? You see Rick Yune character, he reminds me of doing something like actually we got the guys going under the ground, the road. I mean, so much, man. This is a fun movie. I could talk about it forever. But when you see it, then call me so we could really talk and I could explain the secret layers in this movie. A good movie is, to me, a movie that when you watch it once, you enjoy it, but when you watch it the second time, you see something you never saw before. And each time you watch it, you start learning more. Me and my producers, and they allowed me to do this, consciously planted certain things in this movie that you don't never see until like the third or fourth time. You go, wait a minute, I didn't even see that. Oh wow, now I understand why this happened. And that I already understood it from a broad scope, but you started understanding the meaning, the secret meaning behind things in the movie, because I planted some treasure hunting themes in there, yo.
And with so many layers and the 7 different characters, it seems like there need additional stories. Do you think this could go into a trilogy, or maybe like even like a TV show, comic book, or a series, or anything like that? To be
honest with you, as far as the depth of the story of the Man with the Iron Fist, I have backstories to all the characters and future stories. When I worked on a film called the Afro Samurai, there was a writer named Bob Okazaki, right? We just call him Bob. And he has a Japanese name, but his English name is Bob. And I asked him, where do you get the story Afro Samurai from? I mean, how do you get a story called Afro Samurai? You got a black guy, you know, in a futuristic time with Japan and all this stuff like that. He said, well, Bobby, he called me Bobby as well. He said, Afro Samurai is actually part of a 10,000-year-old story, and this is just 100 years of it. I was like, well, that's some shit. Because we'll never hear that whole story. But it inspired me, though, when I was writing my screenplay, in the sense of to get to a character, you know, you may have to give a character a history. And so I did that. And then I took what my acting coach told me, and I'll just say this and let you go. My acting coach told me this when I was acting for a role that was a very short role, but it had to be poignant. It had to be good on the screen to be remembered. And so she told me, she said, listen, the scene says you're making a song and you're about to, you know, give it to this guy and then he's going to fucking take your heart, whatever. Okay, why are you making the song? And she made me go a whole week of making a fake history of the character in my mind. Well, he wound up making a song for his daughter who's about to die in the hospital, and if he makes this song, he'll get the money for the operation and all this shit. So now it gave him a different meaning to make the song. You know what I mean? So it gave him a backstory. Because I had that knowledge, when I wrote the screenplay, I wrote backstories to all my characters. And when I had the characters on set, such as my actors like Russel Crowe, Rick Yune, or Lucy, I would tell them their backstories so that when they got into character, they was already this person. So it's part of filmmaking, film writing. And to answer your questions, we can make sequels, prequels, you know what I mean? And go on and on with it because I have a lot of material based on this world.
We keep going or we're done?
Do you want to do the movie, just the shot for the movie, the date, etc.?
Oh, we did that at the start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we good?
Yeah, you might be good.